people, here's another rant for you. We got people out there in Washington and the Carolinas who have been attacking power stations and substations. And the call for that has been coming from right-wing groups, neo-Nazis, the Proud Boys, and all these other militia and right-wing bigoted groups. And you're hoping that the people will grab their guns and rise up against the government. You know, I think when you put that crap out online, the FBI and the government should be doing their job. Because it is against the law to make terrorist threats. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're making terrorist threats. And they should arrest you. Not because you're freedom of speech, but because you're making terrorist threats, expecting those threats to be carried out. And the reason why the FBI and police departments should be arresting you, not because you're breaking the law for terrorist threats, but because maybe your actions out there are going to backfire on your ass. We're not going to go out there and grab our guns and go and start shooting at the government who's trying to fix your mess. We're going to go out there and we're going to start hunting your ass down. And remember, there are places we can find who the memberships of the Proud Boys and all these other groups are. So you keep your stupid shit up. You keep on pissing off America. You keep on making them mad. And you're not going to get what you want. You're going to get a backlash. The American people who are sick and damn tired of you bigots and racists and anti-Semitites are going to rise up, and we're coming after you. Until either you're all dead or you all leave America. Because you are not part of America. You don't want to be part of America. You don't act like Americans. You are not an American. You're just a bunch of hate-filled bigots. And we don't want you. We don't like you. We want nothing to do with you. And as far as we care, you can freeze in this cold that you're creating everybody else. And you can die in it. We could care less. Go get COVID. Die. Just go already. We're sick of you. And we're going to get more and more and more sick of you. Until one day, you're going to pull one thing too many. And the American public isn't going to grab their guns and raise up against the government who are trying to protect us from your asses. We're going to raise up and we're going to grab our guns and we're going to start hunting you. We're going to hunt you down and we're going to gun you down like the gutless pieces of crap you are. So keep it up. I encourage it. I'm going to encourage you to keep it up until either the government wises up and for your own protection arrest you for your terrorist threats, or we start shooting you just to get rid of you so that we can start having a peaceful equality in our society. There is nothing superior about you white supremacists and anti-Semites. In fact, if you ask me, the way you're acting, you're no better than an ape, than some kind of wild animal out there in the woods. You're running around biting at your own fucking tail trying to get rid of the flea. And in fact, it's not even a flea you're trying to get rid of. You're trying to get rid of the hair on your tail. Because no matter what color, race, religion, or whatever you're against, they're people just like you. They have just as many, if not more, brains than you do. And more, just as much, if not more, right to live as you do. I say if you want to take somebody else's life away because of their skin color or their race or their ability or disability or religion or whether or not they love the same sex or the opposite sex, I say that, hey, you know what? It's not them that there's something wrong with. It's you. And you are the ones that need to be taken out of society. Because you are the problem with society. Not them. They are human beings just like you and me. I don't care if it's a black man beating on an Asian man, a white man beating on a black man, a white man wanting to take a black man's rights away, a black man wanting to take an Asian man's away, or an Asian man wanting to take a black man's rights away. I don't give a crap who the frack you are. If you're running around thinking you're some kind of superior being to everybody else simply because you're white or whatever color you are and the other people aren't, then it's you that needs taken out of this society. It's you that needs to be squashed. It's you that does not belong in America. It's you who should leave, not the rest of us. Because to put it straight up and simple, you jerk-ass little bigots, this country was never white, and it never will be. It is not a white man's land. This country started out as a multicolored and went to a brown man's land. And if you can't accept that, then you need to leave and go find your own damn ass freaking country. Because out of all the countries in the world, there's only 2 countries that started out the way they're supposed to be. And that's Africa, where people originated, and America, where people were drawn to. And it wasn't just white people. The Native Americans who first discovered this land, not the white man, the Native Americans who had been here for generation after generation after generation before any white man stepped here, came from all over the world. They came across the land bridges. They came across the oceans. They came here from all over the world. They had all different beliefs. They had all different skin colors. They had all different races. And they lived here. And for the most part, they lived peacefully. And they had their own laws. They had their own governments. But you white people, you white bigoted people, had to come over here and call them heathens because they didn't learn or teach or live the way you did. Well, you know what? Your white man way isn't always the right way. You're no more superior than anybody else. You just have a different way of doing things. And let's just face it. Your way created things like the Great Depression of the 1930s. Native Americans have lived and farmed on this land for generation after generation after generation and never had a problem like what you created in the 1930s with your stripping of the land to farm it or mine it. Because they had a natural way to do it. Because they learned how to do it in the best way to complement the environment, not to strip it. So let's talk about who was superior there. It sure wasn't your white ass. So keep on thinking about it. You keep on thinking about whether or not you want to keep testing the American public to try and get them to turn against the government. And don't be surprised when we start turning against you. When you're the ones hunted. When what you have is taken from you. When you need to be arrested simply to protect your own life. Because it will come to that. When we get sick enough of you, it will come to that.